Hey guys, it's Jillian and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a very special video for you guys, but this video was inspired by events that happened on my Snapchat story. I had a creepy situation happen in my house a couple nights ago where there was a ghost in my house, we believe, and yes, it's freaky, and just talking about it gives me goosebumps and it's gross. So, over my whole lifetime, in my parents' lifetime, we have known to have ghosts follow around our family, haunted house, just creepy, really creepy stories. I've gone ghost hunting. So today is going to be a combination of all those stories put together for you guys' enjoyment. I will have my mom with me. This is my mom, and she is here to help recreate these events.
Growing up, I never believed in ghosts or anything like that. Like, I always thought, like, people were just, like, making up stories and, like, creepy and weird. Until, actually, like, things started happening. The first, like, experience I ever had, like, with anything ghostly or anything really weird, my girlfriend Tanya and I were, like, just hanging out at my first apartment. A conversation came up and we were talking about ghosts. We had, like, this glass, like, coffee table, and I had a glass of soda on it. So while we were talking about all this stuff, my soda glass literally, like, moved across the glass coffee table.
And she's not talking about, like, oh yeah, like, move the smidget, like, if something hit the table, it could have moved. No, it went from here to over here.
Yeah. So my girlfriend and I, she was actually sitting on the floor and I was sitting on the couch, and we looked at each other and we were like, oh my god, what just happened? So while my girlfriend and I are, like, trying to figure out, like, what could have possibly caused this glass to, like, move across, because at the point I was, like, not even about to admit, like, it could have been a ghost or something. So there was a knock on the door, like, while we were discussing, like, what could have possibly, you know, been going on. And so I didn't really think anything of it. So I walk over there and I look and there's nobody there. So I open the door and there was nobody there. So I was like, okay, well, that's weird. Like, we just had a knock on the door and nobody's there. So I'm like, nobody's there. So my girlfriend comes up and we literally, like, I'm looking out the peephole because we think, like, maybe, like, someone, like, came up and, like, knocked on the door and then, like, ran around the corner or something, like, just, like, playing a joke on us, like, or something. So yeah, kind of like that. So I'm, like, looking through the peephole and she has her ear, like, on the door. All of a sudden we, like, hear this knock on the door, and we can, like, she can feel it on her ear, and I'm looking through the peephole and nobody is there. So we're, like, freaking out at this point. We're like, oh my god, I, like, think we were screaming, like, and, like, running around my house, like, all freaked out, and, like, my husband could not get home fast enough. I would not let her leave. I was like, I am not staying here by myself. So that was really, like, our first, like, my first ever experience, like, with something creepy happening. So the next thing that happened is I had decided to, like, go take a bath. So I was taking a bath. I was washing my hair. I had, like, really long hair back then too. And so, like, I went underwater, like, to rinse my hair, and when I came back up, my faucet in my bathroom, like, the sink faucet, was on full blast, like, it just turned on full blast, and I was like, oh, okay, like, that was weird. Turned it off and, like, couldn't get out of there, like, quick enough. Like, I just wanted to get out of there and go to work. So that was, like, the second thing that happened. Now, one of the creepiest things that happened there was another time when I was taking a bath and I was home by myself. My husband was working. So I was getting ready to go to work. So I was in the bathtub, and all of a sudden, like, I hear the kitchen drawers in my kitchen, like, opening and closing, like, the drawers where the silverware is and stuff.
And we had two birds? We had two birds, right?
Yeah.
We had two birds, and they were going crazy. Like, they were banging their bodies, physically shoving themselves up against the cage, like, trying to escape their cages. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, like, well, at first I thought, oh, my husband just probably is home for lunch or something. Like, maybe he came home for lunch. And the birds, like she said, were going crazy. Like, we had two birds, and they were like the little parakeets. Like, they never did anything. And they were literally, like, I could hear their bodies, like, slamming. So the thing that, like, really creeped me out is my husband would always turn on the TV, like, right away when he came home. No matter what, he was, like, always turn on the TV, and no TV turned on. So I was like, oh my god, here I am, like, all vulnerable, like, in the bathtub. Like, what if someone came in my house?
Horror movie.
Yeah, so for real. So I put on a towel, and I literally, like, dart down the hallway to the living room, like, I'm gonna confront this, like, person if they're in my house or something. I don't know what I was thinking. But there's literally, like, bird feathers all over the floor. The birds are, like, dead silent, and there's nobody in my house. But all my kitchen drawers are pulled out, like, in my kitchen. Like, all the silverware drawers are pulled out.
And all of our butcher knives went missing.
Yeah.
Like, they all disappeared. Like, we never found them.
Well, yes, that's the, like, next thing. Like, I didn't realize at the time, I just literally, like, shut the doors, threw on some clothes, and got the hell out of there. Like, I was like, I am not staying here. I don't care. I'll just, like, go to work early. I don't even care. So a couple nights later, I'm making dinner, and I go to, like, get, like, I have, like, 3, like, butcher knives, like, for cutting and stuff, and I go to, like, find a knife, and my knives are missing. Like, all 3 of my butcher knives are gone. So, like, literally, my husband and I, like, we searched for those. I was, like, I had told him what had happened, and we had searched, and we never found them. Like, even when we moved out of that apartment, like, we packed all of our stuff up, and we never found our butcher knives. So I have no idea what happened to them, where they went. It was just really creepy.
And, like, my dad will also tell you stories. Like, he used to live in New York, and he has had...
That was strange.
Okay, he has had... Ghost alert. No. He has had many ghostly experiences in his house. Like, when he was in his apartment one day, there was, like, a party going on, and he said he looked across the room, and suddenly everything was in, like, slow motion, and he looked over where the refreshment table was, and there was a little boy, like, this black boy, and he waved, and as soon as, like, he blinked, and the boy was gone, and then everything was in normal speed again, and he had found out that a little boy had been, like, murdered into that apartment, he told me, which is extremely creepy. And he has had things where, like, his sister was, like, sweeping in the apartment, and she went in, there was, like, a guy laying in a tux on the bed, but, like, there was no one in the room, and she just, like, ran. Like, I could tell you so many stories, but we don't have enough time for that.
Yeah.
But,
well, when we moved out of our apartment,
I'm, like, getting creeped out.
Yeah, listen, like, this ghost, like, followed us, like, to our first house. Like, it followed us. And, like, weird things, like, one day I woke up, my husband had been to work, like, hours earlier, and if anyone knows my husband, he is not the type to iron clothes. Like, he just, like, he worked at Home Depot, so he just, like, would throw on, like, his uniform and go to work, or, like, his clothes. Like, he didn't care. So I woke up one day, and I went, like, into our second bedroom that we had, and there was I like, walked by, and the iron was, like, burning hot, and I had been sleeping, and it was unplugged, so it was, like, really creepy. Like, you know, just really creepy. That shouldn't happen. And so, like, the really funny thing, like, one of the stories is I used to work at, like, Bally Total Fitness, and this day I was, like, working in the nursery with the little kids, and so, like, being, like, young, and, like, I guess I was, like, a little bit mean, like, I was gonna be, like, trying to scare the kids, so...
Oh, and here's the good part, the ghost followed her to work, so just a little bit mean turned into, like, might have gotten those kids possessed me.
Well, yeah, so... I'm in there, and I'm like, ooh, you guys want to hear, like, I have a ghost. Do you want to hear, like, about my ghost? And they're all like, yeah, we want to hear about your ghost. So I'm like, okay. So I start telling them, like, all these, like, ghost things that have happened, like, to, like, 3 and 4 year olds. I can't believe I did that. But I was telling them, like, all this stuff that happened, and all of a sudden, like, there's fluorescent lights in the room when we're in, and they started blinking, like, on and off at this, like, controlled pace, and they did it, like, 6 times. So I was like, holy crap, like, I was the only, like, adult person in there, and there was no one near the light switch. So I literally, like, left the room and, like, flew out to the front desk, and I'm like, is anyone messing with anything, like, upstairs? Anyone messing with any, like, electronic stuff? Like,
you left the kids?
Yeah, I did. Like, it was not too far away. But it was right out in the same building.
But if there was a ghost, like...
Yeah, I know.
That stole our butcher knives.
So, like, anyways, this is not about me and my bad decisions.
Obviously.
So, like, I went out there, and, like, short story, like, nobody was messing with anything. It was just, like, I was telling the ghost story, and the lights started blinking on and off, like, 6 times. So, in our second house, we definitely had, like, some stuff happen.
This house, right?
No, that was our last house. Then, our ghost kind of came to this house, too. Like, yeah.
We had 3 houses?
Yes. It was an apartment and 2 houses.
Oh, okay.
So, like, when my youngest son, Christian, he's now, like, turning 9, but when he was little, like, you can ask Jillian, he would literally, like, it was creepy. Like, he would swear there were people in his bedroom, and he would talk to them.
He would, like, stand to the closet or look at something, and he'd be, like, carrying a conversation at, like, 2, 3 years old. He would just, like, it was creepy. And then we'd be like, who are you talking to? And he'd be like, oh, this guy. And we were like...
Yeah, so he would, like, talk all the time.
It was not okay.
And, yeah.
So when we say we have ghosts in this house, like, we have for sure had ghosts in these houses. So when I was younger, me, my brother Hector, and my brother Jordan, I love how I put Hector before Jordan when he's not even my, like, blood brother.
Right.
Anyways, we all decided to go ghost hunting, so we would get, like, all cool. We'd get, like, lightsabers and whatever we thought was cool.
Your night goggles?
We did. We got our night goggles. And we would go into my mom's room. And we would always be, like, messing around, but, like, we would never touch anything because we were like, if there's a ghost in here, you know, oh, get off me. Like, all that stuff. But one day, Hector was in my mom's master bathroom, which is connected by stairs, and we were in the main bedroom, and we were standing next to the bed, and we were like trying to conjure a ghost, I guess, which is probably not smart for like a bunch of 9 and 10-year-olds.
And anyone who saw Jillian's Snapchat story last week, you can tell she was trying to like conjure up a ghost,
and she wouldn't let me.
And I was like, hell no.
But we don't use Ouija boards. We just, like, talk to it.
No, we don't even do that,
well,
Jillian,
well,
no.
We did.
We are scary.
Okay, so anyways.
Not a good idea.
I was, like, me and my brother Jordan were standing there, and we're 3 years apart, and we were like, if there's a ghost in this room, please give us a sign. We sat there for, like, 0.5 seconds, and all of a sudden, okay, our bed is, like, this big, and there was a pair of my dad's boxers in the middle of the bed, and they went and fell on the floor. And me and my brother just looked at each other. We were like, bro. And then we hauled ass out of there.
You guys came screaming out like a bunch of little girls. Like,
and we locked
all of you.
And we locked my brother Hector in the room because we were so scared. And we thought, for some reason, we forgot he was in there and thought it was like the ghost trying to get at us. But it was terrifying.
But yet they continued to do this ghost hunting, like,
it was fun though
for years. Like, even with all these like creepy things happening, they would still like do it. I'm actually kind of used to it. Like, it still freaks me out. Like the other like the toys going off or something like that doesn't freak me out as much, but you know, it's been happening for a long time now, and I figured, like, even when our like butcher knives disappeared, I was like, well, they didn't stab us with them, like, we're not dead, so like maybe it's like a good ghost. Like, I always try to find the good in stuff, and the good in people, and the good in situations. So,
which is just stupid, because if it's a ghost trying to kill us, you know,
well, we're not dead.
And now I'm like seriously have goosebumps, guys. Like, I will like show you. We hope that it's her late dad or my late grandpa is like keeping an eye on us because he wasn't Christian, so you know, maybe he got trapped on for a little bit. But you know, if it's a ghost trying to murder us, if I'm dead tomorrow, you know, I love you guys.
We won't be dead.
Did you say we will be?
I said we won't be dead.
Oh, hopefully. So that is pretty much. Oh wait, no, that's not it for this video. Remember that one time we were sitting downstairs and we heard like running, and it was me and Jordan.
Oh,
upstairs. And
we heard it up and down the stairs, and we were all three of us, like, the only people were home that time.
It was me, my brother, and her.
The older brother, Jordan. Yeah, and we literally heard like someone like running up and down our stairs.
And it's not like, it's not like maybe it was heavy footsteps.
Yeah,
like if a grown man
like
was running.
So many of these things have happened. Like, I actually forget I actually forget all of them because we've had so many things happen. And like I said, I am not a person who ever like bought into any of that before. Like, I always thought people were crazy. And after like my dad died, I had inherited like a rental house, and I rented it out, and the people were like, oh, like, the doors open and shut, and I just thought they were crazy. And the lady one time was like, the bed started shaking, and I was like, probably from lack of action. Like, I was just like, I did, like, for real, like, I did not believe any of that stuff at all, like, until it actually, like, started happening to me. So I am not a person that's, like, you know, like, just believes in anything, like, but there's just way too much stuff has happened. I am a believer now. Like, I know that there's ghosts. I know we've had a ghost, like, and it was, like, running
up and down our stairs.
Yeah.
Like, it was a grown man. Like, it was...
Well, we don't know. Like, it was loud footsteps.
Like, it sounded like a grown man. Like, what a average-sized grown man would, like, be running down the stairs, like, making noise. It was not like... Noise. It was not like... No. Okay,
and we literally all just sat there staring at each other.
And we were like, Mom, what's happening? But
I know.
Okay, there are so many stories, but that's gonna have to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you did. Leave me a comment in the description below if you have any ideas for me to make next videos on. Let me know what you guys want to see. Remember, go follow all my social media. I have a link down below. My Twitter, my Snapchat, and my Instagram. Make sure you go follow me on that because, you know, just a bunch of crazy crap happens to me. And who doesn't want to see that?
And hopefully the ghost won't follow you home.
Coming through the screen. It's coming through the screen.
For real, you never know.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys had a beautiful day. Bye.
Bye.